Looks like we've got quite a few folks, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting here, if that's good with everybody. To go ahead and get us started today, I'm excited. Eric Schlitt will be giving us our inspiration pledge and four-way test. So Eric, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can get us started, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much. For our inspiration today, John asked me about 10 minutes ago, so I was kind of deciding who I wanted to use for inspiration, and I was racking my brain of who to utilize who's doing a lot of good in the world. And I thought of the Rotary Club of Casper, all of you, for everyone who has helped with Rotary Park make it what it is, for everyone who helped with cleaning up at Rotary Park on Saturday, for all of the people that were a part of that, and for everyone that actively went there and helped. I know that you'll be nominated for Rotarians of the Week, as you should be, but should all be the inspiration for all of us to continue to help the good that we have in this world and to continue to build something and to continue to grow it. So thank you everyone who cleaned up this weekend, and you are truly the inspiration that we should all follow with. And
Great, thanks, Eric.
Now for the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And then the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Eric, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that. Kind of want to go through here and introduce some of our guests real quick. Claudia, you want to say hey to everybody?
Hi, thank you again for having me. And I just wanted to give you a little update on the situation here in Italy. It's been way better. So many places are starting to open up, and even gyms opened up. So that means it's really getting better. And oh, hey, Terry. And I saw that you guys are the situation is way better there too. So I'm really excited for that. And of course, right now, as soon as we were able to go outside, exams started, so we're all back inside studying, but it's okay. We're all happy to be able to go outside a little bit. So thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Claudia. Great seeing you. Julie Aubrey, you were able to join us again today. You want to say hey to everybody?
Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. I have a quick update on the upcoming Rotary International Convention that for the first time in its history is going to be free and virtual. And not only have they started posting the schedule for the breakout sessions and general sessions for the end of June, it'll go June 20th through the 26th. If you're on vacation that week and you can't make it, they've got some great breakout sessions that they're even hosting all throughout July. And it's anywhere from talking about how to engage a more diverse demographic of membership, to using tools online to better reach folks, to many different giant projects that Rotarians work on, whether it be polio eradication, human trafficking and slavering, working on reducing our carbon footprint. There's kind of something for everyone, and not only is this free, but it's also available to non-Rotarians. So if there's someone in your life who, you might want to share Rotary with, or invite them to get to know a little bit just about how much they can get done with the power of Rotary behind them, this is a great opportunity to invite them. There's also some fun activities to better engage your fellow Rotarians all over the world. One is a walking challenge that they're going to have to encourage folks to walk rather than drive when it's possible. And there's going to be prizes for that as well. And then there's going to be a virtual House of Friendship. And this is a great opportunity for folks who are looking to partner, whether they want to learn more about Rotary friendships, action groups, partnering projects, and different resources that are available to them. That's going to be made virtually as well. So I'll share the link to that in the chat. But this is the first time it's ever been free and accessible to absolutely everyone. So I really encourage you to maybe pick out a few sessions. We know everyone's life isn't on pause during all of this, right? Many of us are still working. We have children. A lot of things are going on, but I think that you might get a lot of value out of some of the information that's going to be made available for the first time without any charge or travel necessary.
Great, Julie. Thank you so much. I appreciate the update. That's always great to hear. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing that link out, that'd be great.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
You too. And you can even, if you don't want to email it to me also, we can do that and send it out to the members that aren't on the call today as well. Ryan Stepp, visiting Rotarian from Five Trails. Thanks for joining us today. And I think Al Scroggins, you had a visitor. I don't know if you still do, a guest for our meeting. Is Allie Joe still joining you? Doesn't look like it. That's okay.
Okay, Al's on. He may not know how to unmute his microphone. Allie Joe's never done Zoom before.
All good.
It's all good.
All good. If I miss anybody, let me know. I think I got through most of our quote unquote guests, but I think I got everybody. If somebody else shows up that I haven't recognized, certainly let me know. With that though, I do want to get into Family of Rotary. Mike Stepp, how you feeling?
Yeah, muted. There we go. I'm doing okay. More tests, of course, and healing better and feeling a lot better. So we'll leave it at that.
Good. Well, hang in there. Again, keep us posted if you need anything. Al Scroggins, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing just great. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to join you guys today. I'm feeling a lot better. Of course, I'm gonna have some soreness for a couple of more weeks, possibly, and but last few days I've kind of turned the corner, so all is well.
Good to hear. I know we're thinking about you, so anything you need, Al, let us know. It's great to see you today. I'm glad we were able to get you on. And tell Allie Joe thanks for the help. Also, again, I don't have any more updates, but do just kind of continue to keep thinking about Mike Ward and his current battle with some pretty intense cancer. So continue to keep him in your thoughts there. I'll try to get in touch with Mike and have a better update, and maybe even try to get him on one of our calls if that would work. But he's still fighting the fight. So keep him in your thoughts if you would, please. I don't see that anybody, Lisa, has reached out for anything else for Family of Rotary stuff. So we're going to jump into Rotarians of the Week, and I'm going to go ahead and start. Eric kind of mentioned it, but we did have a work day up at the Rotary Park at the Falls this past week, and it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of work done. We had a lot of participation. I can say that when we got up there, we started at about 8. I got up there around 7:30, and it was already packed. So it's cool. The park is definitely being used. There's a ton of people up there using it, and a lot of folks recognizing that Rotary does a lot of work up there. And so we got a lot of thank yous from folks that were using the park. So that was really cool. But I do want to say that there was obviously work to do and things to maintain, but I was pleasantly surprised about how little trash there was up at the park. So, whether that's because it's getting a lot of use, and whether that's coming from the users kind of self-policing or the county and the city kind of combination of keeping things clean up there. But it was really great to see, and it was just absolutely beautiful day up there working. But we did have quite a crew that worked. Most of them signed up, but maybe not everybody. But the ones that I do have that I want to nominate as Rotarians of the Week are Taylor Schwan, Philip Rail, Rebecca Rail, Nevia Rail, Sophia Rail, Amelia Rail, Jenna Jensen, Wyatt Jensen, Chloe Mondroin, Richard Swan, Ed Berg from Rotaract, Jim Porter, Tom Krul, Sabrina Foreman, Linda Glasser, Leah Reed Varela, Ophelia Reed Varela, Dusty Johnson, Dick Wimbish, Victory Hall, Steve Lofton, Bo Griffith, El Griffith, Lauren Griffith, Matt Young from Rotaract, and Bill DeGrave. Now, I may be missing a few, so if I did, my apologies. Let us know, and we'll get you added to the list. But we had a lot of fun. It was great to get out and be working again and see fellow Rotarians face to face. So that was really cool and good to hear. Tim Petrea from the County Parks Department also came up there and worked with us, so that was really cool. And I also want to give a shout out to Tim Cortez. helping us get some of those branches off of the mountain on short notice. So Tim, thank you also for your help and support and a partnership with the city continuing. So appreciate that very much. Lisa, I don't see from anybody else. Is there any other Rotarians of the week that you're hearing from?
I haven't heard from anybody else, no.
Well, John, what about yourself and your family? You guys were there, Lauren and Bo. Good job.
It was fun. It was a good time up there for sure. It was nice, and it's cool to see, you know, for all the folks that were up there, we had a bunch of Rotary, you know, 307 Rotarians at Work shirts up there. So it was cool to get the word out that way too. So it was pretty fun.
I actually do have one, John, that I just thought of.
Yes.
So Jim Porter, you mentioned Jim Porter was out there on Casper Mountain, but he also was making a blizzard run to DQ for he and his wife, and he picked one up and dropped it by to Al. And that was just a nice, sweet little, very thoughtful thing for him to do. He didn't stay and visit because, you know, ice cream melts and he had to get Terry's back to her. But I nominate Jim Porter for just thinking of Al.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate that. Well done, Jim. If anybody else has some that come up, certainly let me know. I do want to get into some announcements. You heard Julie talk about the international virtual convention that's coming up. I'm pretty excited about that. There's a lot of good information out, and I know folks are working around the clock to make that a success, especially on kind of short notice. So, Julie, is there anything else you want to add to that?
I don't think so. Just that I really encourage you, even if you're uncertain, to visit the site and see if there's something that speaks to you or speaks to someone in your life that this might, and think about it. It doesn't have to just, the ideas that you take away might not just encourage some, like, you know, new ideas for something to do somewhere else, but you might be inspired to bring some information back to Casper. You might maybe even link up to someone that's interested in doing a dual project in your community and in theirs. The ability to meet online right now has been really amazing. I know that your club has had many international visitors coming through as well. So I really encourage you to just at least take a peek, see if there's something there that sparks some interest. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you for allowing us to promote it. I'm very excited. I'll be supporting some of the sessions as well. And yeah, it's been great. It's been great getting to know your club a little bit better, meeting virtually, since I was looking forward to seeing you all in person back in March, and that didn't happen, but I'm looking at the silver lining here. So thanks for allowing me to continue to crash your meeting.
Yeah, it's great having you, Julie. Thank you again very much. Continuing with the theme of virtual conventions, I do want to remind everybody this Saturday is our district virtual convention. We're going to be doing that from 9 in the morning to 11, so relatively short, but there's going to be some great speakers and a lot of good information. We'll go through the rose ceremony for Rotarians that we lost in our district this past year. District Governor Chris has some awards that he's going to be giving out, and then I know they're going to do some stuff with our exchange students. So if you get a chance, pop in, check it out. It should be a lot of fun. And again, kind of like what Julie mentioned with the international convention, there's been a lot of work put into this in a really short amount of time. So if you have a few extra minutes, grab some coffee and hang out, watch the convention that we're doing this Saturday, again from 9 to 11. We'll get an email link out, Lori, if you don't mind. I'll shoot you something. We'll get that out kind of as a reminder to everybody. But that's going to be a lot of fun. And our leadership in our district has done really a great job these past few months, kind of trying to keep everybody engaged and pushing engagement and keeping Rotary relevant. And so it'd be great if we could kind of reciprocate that and support them with their convention that they've got going on. So should be a lot of fun. Couple other quick updates. June 29th, that will be our last Rotary meeting of this Rotary year, and we are going to do that in person. We're working on getting it kind of formalized and finalized, but it's going to be outdoors. We're going to have that meeting in person outdoors. We've got, I think, the catering lined up, and we're working on just getting some of the audio visual stuff squared away so that we can do that. But want to make sure that we have a good transition to our next leadership team with Lisa and Lori, and be able to really do that justice and do that live. So be excited about that. Hopefully the weather holds and we can have a have a good time, but I'm really looking forward to that. That should be fun. Like I said, we're putting some work into making that happen. So mark your calendars for June 29th. We will get together in person again for that. I have received a lot of questions about Duck Derby. I did want to just give a couple quick highlights. One, the Riverfest committee with the Trails Alliance has decided to cancel their version of Riverfest, but our board got together and met. We're still going to do our Duck Derby, but we're working on it. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same, and it's probably not going to be at the same location. But the need for us to fundraise and be able to give back to our community is as big now as it ever has been. And so we've talked a lot, and it's an important event for our community, and it's something that we want to make sure we get figured out. So as we get those details pinned down, we'll let everybody know. There's going to be certainly some opportunities to watch it online, but also to volunteer. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully by next week, we get a little bit better update. And it'll be something, obviously, we're going to try to share and get the information out as far as being able to sell tickets. But I think it's something too, we're looking at maybe a different structure for what we do with those funds and be able to give them directly back into our community relatively quickly. So be excited about that. And I think I got a message here. Steve Lofton, would you like to nominate some Rotarians of the Week, sir?
Yes, I would.
There you are.
We packed meat over at the Food Bank of the Rockies last Monday after the meeting. We had Guy DeWitt there, his usual self. Gina Jensen, first time I'd met her, she's fun. Jim Allison is always a kick, and so is Becky Barn. So it was all five of us, and we got a bunch of meat packed, and there's some new people working over there, but we'll do it again next month. Thanks for your help, Rotarians of the Week.
Thanks, Steve, and thanks for continuing to push through that. Obviously, there's a big need there. I did also just notice that Alicia Lake has joined us again today. Alicia, thank you for popping in and joining our meeting today. It's great to have you again.
Thank you for having me.
How are things down in St. Martin?
Things is going well. We are no longer on lockdown. We have about 2 cases now, active cases. So hope that it stays that way, or we get them, we get COVID free in a very short time, but we are okay. Everyone is fine. Everyone is taking their precautions, and yeah.
Great. Well, Alicia, thanks for the update, and thanks for continuing to join our meetings. Are you guys meeting online, or are you meeting in person down there?
We are still meeting online. We are meeting online. Like we meet every second and fourth Monday of the month. So we have a meeting tonight, but it's a closed meeting, and we're having our board installation ceremony on the 29th of June. I'm going to be the president-elect. I'm the president-elect, so it should be interesting.
It will indeed. Well, good luck to your Rotary year, and again, thanks for joining us here. It's been a lot of fun having you. Hopefully we can continue that. Okay, I think that's what I've got for announcements. Lisa, I haven't seen anything else from anybody else as far as announcements or Rotarians of the Week. Like I said, it was great to get together with everybody on Saturday. Thanks for those that joined in, and thanks for helping out with Steve and the food packing, and also just kind of for everything that we're doing. Like Eric mentioned at the very beginning, I think Rotarians are our inspiration in these challenging times right now for lots of various reasons. So thanks for continuing to do what you do. And Lisa, with that, what do we have for a program today?
Okay, hold on. Let me just pull this up real quick. So today's speaker is the Associate Athletic Director for Development at the University of Wyoming. He earned his undergraduate degree from Appalachian State University and a graduate degree from the University of Northern Colorado. Before coming to UW, he was at the University of Colorado, at Appalachian State University, and of course now at UW. His hobbies are skiing, golfing, hiking, and fly fishing. And I ask that you please help me welcome Derek Shuck.
Hey everyone, how are we doing? Thank you guys for having me here today. been a part of several Rotary meetings, and you guys do just great work, and obviously doing great work currently in Casper in some tough times. So just again, applaud all of your efforts and all that you're doing there. When Lisa first got in contact with me, that was kind of the last thing before our world kind of fell apart. I was headed up to Casper to see you all in person, and then unfortunately that was not able to take place. But certainly a lot in our world has changed since then. And I'll talk, just briefly here about what's going on with our athletic department. At that time there at the 1st of March, the students were sent home from campus to not return. And so our world has looked very different. Laramie's been a little bit of a ghost town without our students, but we've recently been bringing back our student athletes here in our phase 1, as we're calling it, to get them back and tested. And I tell you what, football players are tough, but when you shove that cotton swab up their nose, they'll let you know pretty quick what they're thinking about it. But we tested all of them over the weekend, and we're anxiously awaiting the results of those tests. Some of our peer schools across the country that we were talking to that also brought back players were Iowa, Arkansas, and they have all seen some positive tests through this process. We do anticipate that we may have a couple of positives, but we will take that, and we've got a plan for those kids. But I'll really give them just a lot of credit. They were the ones that reached out to us and said a month ago, what do we have to do to get back to Laramie? We want to get back to Laramie. We want to get back with our teammates and begin training again. So we started that process. And, we've got kids coming from about 5 or 6 different states. So we don't know is quite honestly the answer of what we'll find, but we're glad to have them back. Now, we all have to wear masks like this guy right here everywhere we go. And so some days I feel like I'm in a hospital, but it's all to try to make sure that we ensure their health and safety for this fall. So before I kind of talk a little bit about Cowboy Joe Club, does anybody have any questions about kind of the health part of what the athletic department's going through, and any questions related to that at all?
So I'm monitoring the group chat, and I'm not seeing anybody pop up with questions on that at this point.
Perfect. Well, I will tell you guys at this point, we are planning on having football season here in just a few months. There's been a lot of rumors out there about what may or may not happen. It will vary school by school and state by state. So, what Wyoming does may not necessarily be what Colorado State does or Montana does. I mean, borders and towns will be everything in this endeavor. So we're planning on having the season in regularity, and there will be more information about that. But just wanted to share that quick update for you. I'm going to try to share my. It doesn't look like I can share my screen here, so.
Hey, give me one sec here, Derek.
Oh, okay.
Make sure that you can. Okay.
So while you're waiting to share your screen, I have a question for you. You said
Sure.
You'll be resuming or going ahead with your football season. How is that going to look as far as your audience or your crowds and fans wanting to attend?
Yeah, we just had a meeting this morning with the governor's office, and it's been a very tough last few weeks with Frontier Days being canceled. Obviously, you guys with the collegiate rodeo series was canceled even before that. So that's been tough. We have been the beneficiary that we're just a few months later. I'll be honest with you, if we had to play football today, it probably wouldn't happen. But we've got the benefit of a little more time. Right now, we're talking about having at least 50% occupancy in the stadium, which we're very happy about. And so that number could grow. That's just our baseline conservative number that we're starting with. We're hopeful that by the time we get to the 1st of September, it could be even more than that.
Derek, see if you can share your screen now, bud.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it just says host disabled.
I'm not sure why, to be honest with you.
No, that is okay. I can.
You want to email that to me real quick and I can pull it up? Well, I can't share it either then. Maybe email to John?
Let's see if I can do that super quick for you. John, what is your email address?
John, John, Oliver, O-L-I-V-E-R, Griffith, Griffith @gmail. And I apologize for that, Derek. I'm not sure what's going on.
No problem. No problem.
But this, Rotarians, is a great example of making it work on the fly.
That's right.
And so look, they're all going to be patient. That's fantastic.
All right, John, I just shot that over to you. Let me know if you got it there.
Got it. I'm going to pull it up right now for you.
Perfect. All right. Fantastic.
There you go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, John. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share with you guys a little bit about who we are as the Cowboy Joe Club. Kind of back up a little bit. Like Lisa said, I've been at Wyoming for a little bit over a year now. And I'm sure most of you have heard or know of Randy Welniak, the Wizard of Ord, as he's affectionately known. Randy still oversees our revenue generation, but I work specifically with our Cowboy Joe Club and report to Randy on our fundraising efforts here across the world. And believe it or not, we have members in just about every state in America and other countries as well. And so simply put, we are the fundraising arm of the athletic department here at Wyoming. To give you an idea, we cover everything tuition related. In that ballpark, you know, for an in-state student athlete in Wyoming, you know, it can range anywhere from about $14,000 to $17,000, out of state on up close to $31,000. And so we try to recruit as many Wyoming kids as we can. Most recently, we celebrated Logan Wilson's drafting from the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously close to home for you guys. Just what a remarkable student and student athlete that he is, and really excited to watch his professional career. But, you know, we are tasked with covering that financial burden each year. And so, John, if you want to hit the next slide there, we do our best to associate with alumni, and you can see our mission statement there, family, friends. You don't have to be an alumni to be a member of the Cowboy Joe Club. We just simply ask for your support. You know, that's our first and foremost mission, is to change lives through education and be successful on the fields of competition. But they are students first. And I always tell people, to be quite frank, there are a lot of our student athletes that if it were not for their discipline, football, basketball, cross country, what may it be, they may not be at college or universities. And so it is an amazing tool to get them to really the thing that will set them up for the rest of their life. Very few get the opportunity to play professionally. I think, you know, obviously what Logan is going to do representing us is just phenomenal, but very few get the chance to do that. So we want to prepare them for a life with as far as their sport will take them, and a life when that sport ultimately ends. So if you want to hit the next one there, John. This is just something that I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about where we are at. We fundraise every single year and try to get as many members as possible. But obviously with COVID, when it hit, our world kind of became rocked a little bit. I think all of nonprofits, all of philanthropy said, gosh, how are we going to get through this? And I just want you guys to know that you have, in my opinion, the best athletic director in the country in Tom Berman. And his leadership through this has just been amazing for me to observe and take notes on. And not only him, but our head football coach, Coach Craig Bowl. Two great individuals, but also very invested, not just in their jobs or careers necessarily, but the state of Wyoming and the University of Wyoming. So John, if you click that, it should be a video. If you can click that right there. Should be a video real quick from Tom and Coach Bowl. Did it bring up a YouTube site for you?
Are you able to see that?
Oh, is it not? I can't see it. No, I'm sorry.
Let me work on this. Give me 1 second. I thought that was already playing, so hold on. Can you see that now, Derek?
Yes, there you go.
We don't have any volume.
Yeah, just no volume on it.
Can't hear that?
No.
I'm not sure why, because I can hear it. I can, it's a great movie. I can watch the whole thing. Yeah, I apologize. I'm not sure what we got going on there as far as.
No, it's all good. I can send out the link.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'll send out the link. It's about a 3.5 little minute video there. But it just talks about, for everyone's reference, when this came out, Tom said, I can't fix everything, but I do want to make my own contribution. So Tom took a 10% cut in pay for the remainder of the year to help offset some budget issues. And then Coach Bowl said, well, if Tom's doing something, I need to do something. And he came to us and said, how can I help? And I don't know if you guys followed, but the NCAA is allowing spring student athletes to come back for an additional year without penalty because they lost the entirety of their season. The only problem with that is athletic departments did not budget for those scholarships. And Coach Bowl said, what's our scholarship total for those kids? Not even his sport. He said, how can I help the spring student athletes? And he wrote us a check for $100,000. So that is just above and beyond what many people were doing across the country. And so just wanted to give them a quick shout out there. As far as how you guys can get involved with the Cowboy Joe Club, many of you are members, and we're so thankful for that. Gosh, we've got so many ways to get involved with us, and it doesn't necessarily mean donating. I think sometimes people think I've got to donate money, and in a lot of cases it is. But, for example, our Cowboy Joe Club auction that's going into, I believe it's 35th year this fall. We're always on the lookout for items for that auction or experiences. Some things that go really well are fly fishing trips and golf outings and things like that. But that auction every year, the proceeds are about $500,000. And so even if you can't be a member in Cowboy Joe, if you could have the ability to donate like I said, a trip or a connection to help us with something, that is phenomenal. And the next thing I'm about to say is something that we should all take pride in the state of Wyoming that no other school in the country has. Our state has invested heavily in cowboy and cowgirl athletics to the extent that they will match any dollar given to the things that you see here on this screen. So if you're a Cowboy Joe member at our entry-level membership of $100, that is actually a $200 membership. So a one-to-one match from the state of Wyoming, it has really changed the game for us and how that we compete, not only on a regional level, but on a national level as well. You see the Cowboy Joe Golf Series, that is in its 25th year of existence. And we did have to make a change to our Casper schedule. We were due to be up there in the month of June, but that tournament is now August 22nd over at Three Crowns Golf Club at 9 a.m. And again, all the proceeds of Cowboy Joe Golf Series are matched by the state of Wyoming. Everything on here really flows into how we support our student athletes. The Steer a Year program, not many schools will have that. You can donate a physical steer if you have steers, or you can also support the program financially, or you can buy a steer from another rancher. And we do competitions for, biggest steer and all sorts of things that folks have a lot of fun with. So another way to support. And the last thing I'll talk about here is the W Club. So anyone that was affiliated with Wyoming athletics during their time in school here, whether they were a student athlete, a manager, a trainer, anything of the above, there's a special membership for former student athletes and former folks involved with the athletic department. So many things here to get involved with in our organization. Just wanted to quickly go through that. And John, if you want to hit the next one. And a lot of times I get asked this question, how does, in terms of Natrona County and Casper, we take membership across all of our counties in Wyoming. And I will tell you that Natrona County is a phenomenal county of support for us. You can see there are currently 234 members, and we've still got plenty of time in this year to go. Natrona County kind of comes in right behind Laramie County and Albany County in terms of membership. And I'll tell you, we send our staff out to work in counties across the country, certainly every county in Wyoming. And I'm the personal representative for Natrona County. So anyone that has any questions, feel free to give me a call. But we certainly appreciate all the support we get. I joke around with people from Cheyenne. People tell me all the time that Cheyenne's the biggest town in Wyoming. And I say that's not true. It's definitely Casper. Because when you add all of it up, you guys are really I tell people, the pulse of the state. I enjoy going up to Casper because I feel like that is really Wyoming. And when I get to visit with folks up there, it's just a great time. So again, thank you for your support. You can see my contact information there. If you have any questions about anything Wyoming athletic related, kind of state of current affairs and how we're adjusting to all of this, or have any interest in the Cowboy Joe Club, certainly feel free to give me a call. And again, thank you guys. I can tell you also now, as a Wyoming resident, I have really grown to love this state. The passion for the Cowboys and the Cowgirls is just amazing. And, I was up in Casper. I'll tell this real quick. One of my first visits, my first week here, I dropped in at Jonah Bank and met Mark Zabek over at the bank. And he gave me the book, Code of the West. And I was able to read that, and just, what a phenomenal thing. I know that many of you know that book, but we try to live by that down here, and that made a large impact for me. So again, thank you guys for your time, and wish everything gets back to normal, and excited that you guys get to meet in person here in a few weeks. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So I'm not seeing any questions at this point, but I see Mike Howe has a Go Pokes. But thank you so much. And yeah, welcome to Wyoming. So I know you've been here for a while, but sounds like we've
Brad has a question, Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, Derek, Brad Cundy. I was just curious what about the Wildcatters?
Yeah, we're looking at, and our Wildcatters kind of our enclosed seats up in our premium section, and we're going to follow kind of our general distancing guidelines for the stadium as well. Tom has forfeited his suite for the year to give us a few extra seats in addition to the incoming president of the university. So some people have kind of given up their seats for the year, and we're hanging out right at about 50% right now in hopes that we can get even more people up there. Hopefully this thing keeps.
Okay. Well, hopefully.
For sure.
So we do have a question. Looking at the football season coming up, how many games are planned, and how many of those will be here in Wyoming?
Correct. We have 6 home games currently scheduled. We open up against Weber State. Weber State is a phenomenal FCS program. I think they made it to the quarterfinals last year. Then we host the Utah Utes. So we got a little Utah connection going to start the season, old Mountain West opponent. And then we will have San Diego State at home, Air Force Academy at home, Utah State, and a potential big showdown with the Boise State Broncos. A lot of indications are right now, preseason polling is that we are solidly maybe the second best team in the Mountain West. We got to beat the Broncos, and we know that's kind of who we're chasing, but we get them at home late in the season, so it could be a really good year this year.
Hey, Derek, is Boise State ranked in the polls this year yet?
I haven't seen any official rankings that have come out. I've kind of seen more Mountain West type stuff. I'll be honest, we should have had them at their place last year. I think that gap is increasingly small. Coach Ball said that his dream is to one day sit in the stands and say, hey, we're beating Boise State because we're just flat better than them. And so they've kind of set the bar, but we are really, really close. And I think we'll get a great chance at them this year.
Hey, Derek, in terms of kind of the live watching the game, what does War Memorial Stadium hold if it's full? And then what does that do to you guys financially if you're only able to go at 50%?
Yeah, gosh, that's a great question. So, some of the largest games here, when Nebraska came many years ago, Missouri last year was a good game. We can get about 33,000 in on those mega games. So it's going to be right now, if we played tomorrow, 15 or 16,000, and it hurts. There's no doubt about it. We count on a lot of that revenue to really buoy our budget. So our hope is that as the season progresses, if we can do this thing right and our country gets more comfortable, maybe a vaccine even with COVID, maybe by the end of the season, we'll have fuller crowds. So that's kind of our plan, is to start small, don't mess up, and then get better as the season goes on.
Sure. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about football, and there's a lot of supporters in our club for the football program. What do the rest of the fall sports look like?
The Mountain West has made some changes as it relates to our Olympic sports and their championships. So typically in the Mountain West, you go to a neutral site for a volleyball championship or a cross country, a soccer. They have eliminated those this year just out of budgetary concerns, but they are going to have their seasons. And so there may be a little alterations to their schedule, but they are going to play. There's not been a lot of talk about altering basketball and our winter sports just yet, just because, again, hoping not to have to change those too much, but just a little bit further down the road at this time.
Gotcha. Thank you. One other follow-up question, kind of back to the stadium stuff. I know a couple of years ago there was a decision made. I don't know if it's university or who made the decision, but to have beer sales as part of in the stadium. How has that generated revenue? What kind of revenue has that brought into the program, and where do those funds go?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So beer sales are kind of one of those things that everybody in college athletics has kind of become involved with. There's still a few schools that have not. But it's a revenue maker for us. There's no doubt about it. I don't know the exact numbers on where it falls, but there's a lot of things you have to do right. You got to have your security right, checking all the boxes. And by the time that's over, it's not as large of a revenue maker as one might think. But it's great for our local partners in Laramie because we use local vendors. And so obviously they take a portion of the proceeds. For them, I would almost argue they're the biggest winners out of the beer sale opportunity, is our local vendors and producers that are able to capitalize on, quite frankly, Laramie quadruples in size on game day. And so they don't get those numbers any other time of the year to sell that product. So it's a good relationship all the way around.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Luke. Lisa, you got any other questions coming your way?
No, I think you just said thanks, Luke. So I see you saw that, asking for a friend.
Yeah, I see the request for Texas tickets in a couple of
Yeah.
years.
No, we don't have any other questions for Derek. Thank you so much for coming and visiting with us today. And yeah, we did have plans. You would have been our, right, that last speaker before we shut
Yeah.
things down, but instead it fell to the other side and you were the first one that we missed out on. I'm so glad that we could loop back around and get you to come and visit with us. John already mentioned that we have great UW supporters in our club. And so we're really excited to hear from you. One thing you didn't mention, is this the 50th anniversary of the Cowboy Joe Club? And so what are you doing to really maximize that?
It is. It is. It is our 50th anniversary, which is unbelievable. What great support we've had over the years. You know, we've been working on this kind of historical project of who helped get the Cowboy Joe Club started. And I'll just be brief on this. Essentially, it boiled down to a meeting at the Brown Palace Hotel in 1969 from all of the best accounts we can find. And there was a Stetson hat box. And people said, all right, the dues for the club are $10. That's $10 annual fee. And the folks that were there that night, they opened the box at the end of the night, and an individual had wrote them a check for $100. And they thought, well, we're done. I mean, we've accomplished our goal here. You know, gosh, it's changed a lot since then. But yeah, we were going to have an event this summer down in Denver to kind of commemorate the 50th anniversary. We did have to postpone that. So be on the lookout for some stuff that will come out here. It's unfortunate that this kind of fell on the 50th, but we'll certainly do our part to honor it. And I look forward. We are currently on a travel ban with the university. We're not allowed to leave Laramie until July 30th with just some very limited exceptions. But when I get my wings back, I'll be sure to come up and join you guys for a meeting one of these days.
That sounds great, Derek. I can also tell you that this fall we did have a big tailgate, a Rotary tailgate party planned with some of our clubs there in Laramie and Cheyenne as well. Don't know what that looks like, but if it's something we can pull off, we'll definitely make sure that you get invited and come over and say hey to us.
For sure. Just let me know how I can help. That'll be great.
Will do. Lisa?
So again, thank you, Derek. So as we look forward to next week, that's the 15th, we're going to have one of our own club members' wife. So it's going to be Raina Januska. She's going to be visiting with us about her experience as a two-time transplant recipient. So that's something you're not going to want to miss. She's going to share her journey through that process. And then just thinking ahead, on the 22nd, we're back to looking at athletics. The Casper College soccer coaches are going to be visiting with us. That is Ben MacArthur and Amon Bennett, both the male and female soccer coaches. So we've got a couple of really great things lined up for you.
Great, thanks, Lisa. Do appreciate it again, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks again to our guests. Alicia, thanks for joining us. Claudia, always great seeing you. Julie, thanks for joining us from Chicago. Great seeing you as well. It's been a lot of fun. We had a good meeting today. Derek, thank you very much for the update. And if I've got that there, if you got my email address, if you want to email that link to me, we'll make sure that we get that out to all of our members as well, because it looked like it was a pretty cool video. Sorry, we didn't get to show that to everybody. But again, continue to do what we all do as Rotarians, you know, making a difference in our community. Thanks for what everybody is doing. Use Rotary to connect your world. And we'll make sure we get some information out for our district conference virtually on Saturday. Hopefully we get to see a lot of everybody there too. So thanks again, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.